Hello, 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 world. Hello. It is January 6th, and we are in this. Ooh, let's see if I can turn both of these devices around so you can see the view, maybe, possibly. I don't know if you can see the sunset and the colors, and it's just so beautiful over the volcanoes and the sun going down. Not sure the camera can grasp that, but it is beautiful. It really is. So, hello and welcome. I do these little quickies this month. I've been inspired by a friend whom I can see there. Hello, Lale. A friend who I spoke with this week, spoke with before as well, and she's one of my biggest sort of cheerleaders in reminding me what I know, that I know, and that there are possibilities far greater than anything I could have imagined before. So these have no form, no structure, no significance. This is one of the gifts of the Access Consciousness tools, and I'm an Access Consciousness facilitator. My name is Rachel, by the way. If you found the page and did know my name, that's my name. And there are such a breadth to these tools and to these conversations that, and I've been playing with them since, I don't know, 2010, 2011, I think like end of 2010, mostly 2011 onward. And so things that seem so, well, of course, everybody sees things that way in my perspective, may not necessarily be so for people who've never heard of these tools before, people who've never heard of access consciousness, people who have been exposed to other things like the spiritual movement, etc. And access is a little bit different. The tools are very reverent, very really different than what you would typically find in, oh my God, we have to stay positive and we have to, no, you're an infinite being, you have different experiences, and you get to choose what works for you. You don't have to judge or punish yourself or try to force yourself to be any one thing. You've got to actually notice and choose. It is our choice that creates, and we're not often taught that. So yesterday I read a little snippet from this book, my little dog-eared, totally bitten first edition copy of the Being You Changing the World book. Just the second Access Consciousness book that I ever got. This one right here, literally this physical copy. I've had many other copies since. And of course, I have it in my Kindle. I have it as a CD set, believe it or not. Do you remember CDs, like those round disc things that I used to put them in my car? It's really funny. And they have the Audible version in Dr. Dain's voice, which is pretty freaking amazing. So, of course, got it in audio, got it in digital, and also like this. And this one I love because this one's been my next to the bed copy for many, many years. Whenever I'm kind of down and out or just wanting a pick-me-up, I'll pick up this book and just open it randomly to whatever. And just like yesterday, we went through the pebble in the ocean, right? And today, I just would like to explore something called, where did it go? I had it. It's not this one. There. Chapter 1. Chapter 1, Your Reality and the Free Will Universe. And you can go to Amazon or you can go to beingyoubook.com and you can get yourself a copy of it. But I just wanted to discuss a little something of what we, quote unquote, think reality is. Your reality in the free will universe. So before we go on, because this isn't the very beginning of the book, there's other stuff there. What I mean by reality, and this is what I'd like to, just because there's so many things that I just take for granted, and I figured everybody's on the same wavelength. No, no. That's why we have subjective realities. That's why you get, two people together and they may be talking about two different things and they have two totally different ways and perspectives of what life is, because they have a different experience, a different way of looking at things. So what Dr. Dain here refers to as reality, what I mean by reality is basically the common, average, ordinary way that everybody learns to function here on this planet. The things that we all have in common, the things we think, we think are real without really thinking about it. So kind of taking it for granted, assuming this is the way it is. It's all the stuff that seems like it just is, to such a degree that we often don't even ever question it. We talked about that before a couple of days ago, about presumptions, assumptions, making an ass out of you and me, etc. In order to create a reality, and this is really dynamically cool, in order to create a reality, you have to have two people or more, two people who align and agree on a point of view. Do you get that? You have to have two people that say, this is the way it is. So in other words, a reality gets created anytime two or more people conclude, there's no question there, just a conclusion, they conclude this is the way it is, even if they don't do it cognitively. Right? That's how reality gets created. Now, did you know that? So when I say this reality, I'm actually talking about what you were handed when you were born. All the rules and the regulations of your family, the rules and regulations of your society, the rules and regulations of your culture, the planet, all the physical laws of reality, all that stuff, the whole kit and caboodle. For example, the rules of this reality say that you can't move your body from here to Fiji instantaneously. But wouldn't that be cool? I think so. And I say, why not? Let's change that. Wouldn't it be a lot more fun? We may not succeed in changing it today, but let's head in that direction and just see, just wonder, just play, hey, what can show up? As a motivational speaker in high school who changed my life with this phrase says, shoot for the moon. If we miss and hit the stars, damn, that's not half bad. Instead, we're trying to make all the parts of this reality work right. How much effort is in that, huh? Work right so that we can be happy, rather than creating what we would really like to have, even if it is totally different than this reality. We think there must be something right about this reality if everybody's choosing it and everybody's telling us that it's right. I mean, it must be right, right? The ongoing scenario in our heads is something like, so judgment must be right. Family must be right. School must be right. Money must be right. Oh, I'm probably the only one who doesn't get it right and keeps feeling wrong. But what if all those things that are supposed to be right are wrong for you? What a concept, huh? What if there were a totally different way of looking at this? And here is one possibility to consider. The reality that you have been given does not work. You don't have to choose it anymore if you don't want to. With that awareness, what would you truly like to choose as your life? What would be fun for you to choose? What would be amazing for you to choose? And what if you knew that this is not only a free will universe, but that the universe, this amazing, glorious universe, it's got your back. And it is willing to support you if you actually begin asking. And just to head back to that thing about two people, when somebody is, put in an insane asylum, or heck, when I got married and we had our ketubah, our Jewish marriage contract signed, we had to have two witnesses. When someone is put into an insane asylum, two people for almost everything, you need two witnesses. That's the two people that align and agree and say, aha, this is what it is. So I'll give you an idea in a physical thing. let's pretend with this weeble wobble electric cord is a metaphor for reality. It takes two people aligning and agreeing to be able to sustain it, to be able to hold it up, to be able to say, this is real. Right? And we so buy into what other people say is so real and true. And then we spend our life trying to either fix it or trying to fix ourselves so that we would toe the line, so that we would maintain the solidity of this tightrope of reality. Right? But what's really cool with the processing that we have in access consciousness, with just actually looking and being present and looking at it and going, okay, so I've decided this is real, but does that work for me? If not, I could choose something different. That awareness, that allows you to be able to make a different choice. And it is ultimately really our choice that changes things. But sometimes to get to a different choice, we are so stuck in our heads or in habit or in the point of view that we've had. We've made it so much bigger than our ability to choose something different that we do something called processing in access consciousness. We use the clearing statement. We ask a question. Energy comes up when we ask a question, and we ask to pod and pock is the shortcut way of saying it. But what we do is we destroy and uncreate. We literally de-story. We take apart this story that we've been telling about whatever the thing is, whatever that situation is, whatever that point of view is. We de-story it. We literally just tear it apart. We destroy it. We uncreate it. And now there's a space rather than this, rigid thing. There's fluidity. There's this space because we've let go of a point of view. So literally every time that we use the clearing statement, not just us, but we've come to find out in Access, 350,000 other people around the world are able to release. We don't know who. It's not like we go, okay, here are my 350,000 closest friends and relatives. Please let them let go of these points of view. No, we're not that controlling. We have no idea who gets the change, but more people are able to get the change because we are letting go of the rigidity and the solidity of points of view, of what we have determined previously that is true and real. Okay? It actually isn't. So when we let go, this is now wibbly wobbly. And when more of us let go of these things that we've said, this is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad, we're letting go of a point of view with a clearing statement, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. And below the video, you'll find the links to look that up, or you could go to, if you remember, theclearingstatement.com or accessconsciousness.com and search for information about the clearing statement, and you'll get all the info to satisfy your head. But basically, it's just letting stuff go, which is awesome. We like to let things go because when we let things go, you don't have to keep holding so tight. What happens if, have you guys ever played tightrope? Those, we used to have this big ass rope. I think we actually still do in what we call the Harry Potter closet downstairs. We have this really, really long, soft rope. And at one of the birthday parties that I think my sister-in-law organized or whatever, we had all the kids, divided into two groups, and they did tug of war, right? Pulling from one side, pulling from another. Really, what they're doing is lifting up a reality, sustaining it, and fighting for it. Whoops, there goes my charger. Fighting for it, right? Pulling this way, pulling that, tugging, swearing, sliding, just, depending on how competitive they'd like to be. But what happens, I don't know if you guys ever noticed it, when one side lets go, the other side just falls flat on their face. What if more of us would be willing to let go of everything that we have determined previously or bought that is so real and begin to choose what we know, what would work, what would create greater, the world we'd like to live in. Because I have a feeling that there's a lot more magic, a lot more miracles, a lot more possibilities available for all of us if we'd be willing to choose beyond this reality, beyond this right and wrong and good and bad and all of that. So, what beyond this reality, energy, space, consciousness, choice, magic, miracles, mysteries, power, potency, and possibilities can we be to choose to be the generative, joyful ease and space of being we truly be? Beyond anything we've ever been told, anything we've ever been sold, and what do we know that will create a brighter, more amazing future for us and for the world? And anything that doesn't allow that times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. That's the clearing statement in action. So, what reality would we like to create? And how much fun could we have choosing it? And my friend Lale was on here before. I'm seeing her every morning. The last few days, we've been going through this. We've been going through the advanced How to Become Money workbook, which is pretty damn freaking awesome. And the conversations that we've had are lovely. And if you'd like to join that, I think I shared it. And if not, Lale, could you post a link to it underneath so that whoever would like to hop on would be able to? And then because I see Lale was on Instagram or is on Instagram right now. If not, then I'll look for a link or something from her page to share on my story so that you can find it. So anyhow, thank you guys. It has been the 6th of November. Oh, no, not November. Geez, January. And I don't know if you guys can see, but whoops. Oh, let's see. Oh, there's the golden glow. There. And I don't know if you can see it there. Sort of, no, not quite, maybe. It was worth an attempt. But anyway, thank you, and we will see you tomorrow.